The chapter 128 begins with a view of a broken house. A man tells another man that when night falls, the demons will come. The other man responds, saying that plans to rejuvenate and relocate the swordsmith village had to be hastened. The first man remarks that demons won't wait. The world keeps turning, even as human lives are lost. Although the village was attacked by 2 upper moons, casualties were kept to a minimum. Then, we see Tanjiro waking up and learning that the swordsmith village has been relocated. One of the Kakushi informs Tanjiro that he had been unconscious for 7 days and urges him to eat something. She also mentions that several decoy villages have been created to provide a safe place to move if needed. She updates Tanjiro on the condition of mist and love Hashira. As Tanjiro enjoys his food, he recalls Kanroji-san telling him to eat a lot. Kakushi finds him a bit odd, though. Kakushi then inquires about Nezuko. Tanjiro responds, saying, "Oh, right, she can walk in the sun now." Kakushi comments, "Isn't that bad?" Tanjiro looks troubled, and admits he doesn't know if Nezuko will turn back into a human or fully become a demon. They are currently investigating it, but no one knows for sure. Kakushi asks if Kusama is looking into it. Tanjiro clarifies, "No, Tamayo-san is." Kakushi is puzzled, asking, "Who is Tamayo-san?" Tanjiro begins coughing, and Kakushi tells him to slow down while eating. She also wonders where the 3 little girls are, and Tanjiro asks if Ai-chan isn't there either. The scene then quickly switches to Zenitsu, who is screaming in surprise at seeing Nezuko talk, exclaiming, "So cute, I'm having heart attacks?" A little girl cheekily responds, "Yes, please have one." Zenitsu, still in shock from hearing Nezuko speak, asks her to marry him, while the other girls try to restrain him. Nezuko replies with a simple, "Welcome back." Hearing this, Zenitsu gets angry at Inosuke, feeling left out as Nezuko remembers Inosuke but not him. A flashback reveals that Inosuke came to the butterfly estate due to an injury, and made it his goal to get Nezuko to remember his name. The scene then shifts to a room where an emergency Hashira meeting is being held. The wind Hashira, Sanemi Shinazugawa, says, "I envy you guys. Damn it. Why can't I bump into upper moons?" The snake Hashira, Iguro Obanai, replies, "It's not like people bump into them every day," and inquires about Kanroji Mitsuri's condition. The love Hashira, Kanroji Mitsuri, responds that she is feeling much better. After that, Tokitu remarks that he's not at full strength yet. The rock Hashira, Himejima Gyome, then comments, "If we lose any more Hashira, the demon hunters will be in dire straits." He adds that defeating 2 upper moons without any fatalities is quite commendable. The insect Hashira, Kocho Shinobu, then asks Mitsuri and Tokitu if they recovered quickly for any specific reason. We then see the water Hashira, Tomioka Giyu, who mentions that Oyakata-sama likely wants to talk to them about everything, including this. The scene shifts to Ubuyashiki Amane, the wife of Ubuyashiki Kagaya. She informs them that she will be attending the Hashira meeting in Kagaya's stead, because his illness has worsened. Gyome prays for Lord Kagaya's health. Amane then states, "I'm sure you've all heard by now, but we have a demon who has conquered the sun among us." She warns that Kibutsuji Muzan has likely changed his target to her, aiming to conquer the sun himself. She adds that the time for an all-out battle is drawing near. She also mentions that strange marks appeared on Mitsuri-sama and Tokitu-sama during their battles against the 4th and 5th upper moons. She wants to ask them how they obtained those marks and the conditions required to get them. Tokitu and Mitsuri appear confused. Amani explains that during the Sengoku era, there were swordsmen of the first breath who came close to defeating Kibutsuji Muzan. They all had marks that looked like demon crests. Sanemi, Obanai, and Giyu are also puzzled. Amane explains that this knowledge has been passed down, so some people should know about it. Sanemi questions why they've been kept in the dark. Amani explains that because so many people obsessed over getting these marks, a lot of information about them became muddled over time. Perhaps the tradition died out when the demon hunters faced near extinction numerous times. However, one thing remains consistent. Once someone gets the mark, it starts resonating and spreading to others. One of the swordsmen of the first breath put it this way, and as of now, the first person with this mark among the Hashira is not any of those present, but Kamado Tanjiro. The scene flashes back to when Tanjiro was explaining how he got his marks, but he struggled to clarify them. Returning to the present, Amani asks Mitsuri and Tokitu to explain further. Mitsuri attempts to, but she can't do it properly. Everyone appears both stunned and perplexed, and Mitsuri apologizes to everyone. Tokitu then admits he wasn't aware of any marks, but looking back on his previous battle, he noticed many things were different. Suddenly Tokitu grows serious and says quietly yet firmly, "If you meet these conditions, perhaps everyone can get these marks." Let me explain how it works now. Chapter 128 ends here, and Chapter 129 begins. Tokito explains that during the previous battle, he couldn't move because he had been poisoned. He used his breathing techniques to slow the poison's spread through his bloodstream. However, a boy who tried to rescue him nearly lost his life, and this triggered a flood of old memories. He got so enraged that he lost all control of his emotions. Tokito also shares that he believes his heart rate went over 200 BPM, and that his body became scorching hot, likely reaching a temperature above 39 degrees Celsius. Shinobu is shocked by this revelation and asks, "But can you move in such a condition?" Tokito answers, "That's why I think it could serve as a screening test." He adds, "Will you survive or won't you? That might be the key difference between those who develop the mark and those who don't." Amane is shocked to hear about Tokito's heart rate and body temperature during the battle. Tokito mentions that when Shinobu was treating his injuries, he apparently had a fever, and the thermometer recorded 39 degrees Celsius. He suggests that his body temperature must have been the same when the marks appeared. Mitsuri nods, saying she now understands something about the marks. Sanemi looks frustrated, saying, "So it's that simple, huh?" Iguro retorts, "I envy those who find it so simple." Shinobu agrees, adding, "It seems getting this mark will now be a top priority for the Hashira." Gyomei concurs and says, "Please inform Oyakata-sama that we'll work on it so he can be at ease." Amane thanks them all and makes one final request. Those who have manifested the mark must participate in the war against Muzan, with no exceptions for anyone. She then leaves the room. Following her departure, Giyu says, "Now that Amane Dono is gone, I'll take my leave." Sanemi responds, "Wait, who's holding it? Don't leave yet." "Man, we need to make our future plans now, don't we?" Giyu replies that he has no interest in it. Obanai challenges him, "What do you mean it has nothing to do with you? Don't you understand your role as a Hashira? Or are you planning on getting a head start on training without us? You didn't say a word during the meeting." Giyu departs, and Sanemi tries to stop him. Shinobu also questions why he's withholding so many details. Giyu responds, "I am not like you all." An angry Sanemi asks, "Are you mocking us?" Mitsuri tries to calm Sanemi, but suddenly Gyomei unleashes his presence, which is so intense that everyone is stunned. He demands, "Take a seat. Let's discuss a bit more. I have a proposal." The scene changes to the butterfly estate, where Tanjiro sees Haganazuka and learns he is feeling better. Haganazuka seems nervous, but presents Tanjiro with his new sword. Tanjiro is delighted to see his new blade with Rengoku's hilt. One of the Kakushi asks Haganazuka to take a seat, but he still appears anxious. Tanjiro suggests, "Let's take a look at the blade," and is astonished by his new sword, commenting, "Amazing!" He notices the blade has a unique depth of black. Haganazuka proudly declares, "This steel is of excellent quality. The previous wielder must have been a powerful swordsman. There's a character on the sword that reads destruction." Meanwhile, Haganazuka explains that the swordsmith who forged this blade designed it to destroy all demons, leaving no clue about his identity except for that character. Tanjiro notes he didn't see the character when he used the sword last time. Haganazuka gets furious and shouts, "That's because you used the sword when I had only completed stage 1 of the process." He then starts attacking Tanjiro, giving him a stern warning not to break his sword this time, and leaves. Suddenly, Inosuke bursts through the glass, shouting that they are going to have an intense training session now. Inosuke exclaims that some powerful people are coming together to train Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, and with that, this episode comes to an end. Thank you, friends. See you in the next video. Until then, stay happy, stay safe, and keep enjoying your favorite shows.